What's up guys, CyberHoudini here and welcome back to the Daily Dose of Gaming. It is the 29th of June. We are this close to going into July and let me tell you, it feels like summer. It really does. There's a massive heat wave going on here in Ireland right now and yeah, it's pretty crazy to be inside talking about video games and playing video games, but yes, the life of a recluse. But today is very exciting. We finally have a chance to kind of go over some PlayStation news, which is nice. It's usually pretty tough. They're like a Fort Knox right now with all of their news. I'm waiting for some goodies. But the story is that we may be seeing a PlayStation event coming up. Hello, Megan, first in the building. Hello, how's your week going so far? Whew. You'll be excited for this one. Hopefully, the news is we're going to crack things off with a possible PlayStation Experience event coming. Now, if you haven't seen PSX or you remember PSX, it was a really cool event that PlayStation would do near the end of the year. Basically, it was open to all of the greatest PlayStation fans. You could get some of the coolest merch there and some really good, exciting news. It was kind of a big thing before the Game Awards pretty much took over. And yeah, they've quietly moved away from it, which was super sad. But recently, PlayStation has actually re-registered the trademark for the PlayStation Experience. So here's hoping that it's coming back. This right now is the latest gameplay trailer for Horizon Forbidden West. We are all hotly anticipating this game. We need a release date. Come on, Sony. You spoiled us with over 14 minutes of gameplay, and it is without a shadow of a doubt one of the most highly anticipated games, one of the most beautiful next-gen games. This will be Aloy definitely like cementing her place as one of PlayStation's mascots and one of the most badass female protagonists in video games. And I'm super excited for that. Hello, Jeff. How's it going? We got 50p man. We got Dynamite. Now we have Jeff. Jeff. Poor old Jeff. So yeah, the rumor going around is that we may see something around July 8th. Now nothing's concrete yet, of course. It's always the way with these stinking rumors. But they were planning on doing something around E3. You know, they don't usually do a traditional E3 anymore. But I know they do like to do like a state of play or something like that. So we still might get something like a state of play. But if they're going to announce something, it will definitely be the release date for Horizon Forbidden West. It's the only thing that's kind of we're waiting on. I'd also love to see a next-gen upgrade for Horizon Zero Dawn. Be a great excuse for me to jump back into it. I mean, they were nice enough to give away the complete edition, and it just doesn't feel right until it's been optimized for PS5. Alright, let's see, where is it? Here we go. Yeah, lots of PlayStation news today. Yeah, so July 8th, the reason for this kind of locking down July 8th was just a whole lot of kind of rumors going around from some insiders and that. Some of them had leaked the Far Cry 6 event, so who knows? We know they'll probably talk about more of GTA 5. It's been a running joke about GTA 5 being on, 3 generations of platforms, whereas we used to get 3 Grand Theft Auto games in a year, But apparently they're planning on doing something very, very different with it, really giving it, like making it look better than it does now on PC, which would be very interesting. Maybe some new shaders. Who knows? There's also talks of GTA 3 for its 20-year anniversary and getting maybe a remake, a remaster, who knows? But if they're going to show any of that kind of stuff, it would be at a PlayStation show for sure. I think it's about time. I think PlayStation have kept a lot of things very, very close to their chest. Even me, included, wondering what the hell comes after Horizon Zero Dawn and God of War, What are we going to get? So, yeah, there's rumors flying around all over the place of a Last of Us remake to coincide with the show. And just recently, we just heard about a Ghost of Tsushima director's cut, which, director's cut are all the rage these days, where, they get to re-release the game, changing up a couple of things. That could be interesting, but even more interesting is the possibility of a new Ghost of Tsushima game, a side game, very similar to Uncharted Lost Legacy and Spider-Man Miles Morales. It's called Ghost of IKISHIMA for now. We'll see. Is it too quick after Ghost of Tsushima? I don't know. We'll see. It could be pretty cool. I know Sucker Punch, they hold the keys to Sly Cooper and Infamous series as well, so a lot of people want those games as well. They want them to come back, especially with all the teasing that's been going on, and I feel that for sure. But it's clear that Ghost of Tsushima is a massive success for them right now. I thought it was really good as a first game, a first new IP in a series. You know, definitely followed a lot of open world game tropes, you know, your usual like bandit camps and you know, like opening up the map and all that kind of stuff. So it's very hard to get away from those things. You know, you can blame Assassin's Creed or Far Cry for all that, but they've all done it. Even Breath of the Wild, even Nintendo have followed suit. So it's just one of those things. I really enjoyed my time on Ghost of Tsushima. It felt like a good old-fashioned hack-and-slash game. Nowhere near as tough as a Souls game, but kind of close, kind of dipping its toe into that. And it was just absolutely gorgeous. The way they used the touchpad with the wind, when I first saw that, I go, this is a gimmick. I'm not going to use this throughout the game. And then within, like, you know, a couple of hours, it became unbelievably detrimental to the game. Like, it stopped me from menu. I absolutely hate, like, menu diving. I hate that kind of stuff. You know, you have to do it. But the less time you spend in the menu and the more time playing the game, you're always going to have more fun that way. So that was really cool. I want to see more devs use the touchpad because it is, in my opinion, the real differentiating factor between the consoles, you know? Not the fucking rumble, not the triggers, it's the touchpad. It's an extra 4 possible buttons on a controller, you know? So use it. 450, damn, that's so cool. I've been watching a lot of Proper's Anime Arena lately, and he lets you use the points to kind of, you know, go 1v1 with your guys. I think that's really good. It's actually, you know, I've been in absolutely countless streams where they're having the same issue as me, where there's just nothing to spend the points on, you know, especially to that level, you know. So I'd love to be able to come up with something. I don't know what to do, but with Propers it seemed pretty cool, you know, like even like evolving your characters and that. I even found myself going, okay, I got a lot of points here, I can do a lot of things. So that was pretty cool. I need to do like a big grand prize, the first to 1 million or something. That'd be pretty cool. I'm like James McAvoy in Split. Exactly. I'm just waiting for the female character to come in. Oh my god, Miss Dynamite or something. Miss Dynamite, tee-hee. I don't know if you remember her. She was around for a while. But that's pretty cool. I love that PlayStation allows this. Like with Nintendo, I've talked about this before, most of their flagship series have like a 3D version and a 2D version, and they can work together, and they sell just as much as each other, you know. And in some cases, maybe the 2D might be better than the 3D or vice versa. Whereas PlayStation, they seem to really push for these side games, and I think it's awesome. Obviously, they're not meant to be as big, so there's not as much downtime, enough, you know, as much dev time, but there's just as much fun, you know, just as much fun. And I'm hoping by them doing these side games, they split off the team a little bit, and this would allow that team to then go on and make maybe its own IP or something like that. That's what I think, because something like Uncharted Lost Legacy, that was so much fun. It kept that kind of openness that Uncharted 4 really brought into the series. It badly needed it, let's be honest. Because it was quite a linear series up until that point. There was big areas, but not to that extent where you're jumping into a Jeep and driving around and having some fun. So yeah, that was pretty cool. I'd love to see that Lost Legacy team, take over and do an Uncharted 5 or whatever it needs to be called, while, you know, Naughty Dog are obviously working on other stuff. They have like a new IP coming. So yes. So also a big news for Sony today was that they've managed to actually acquire Housemarque after a long collaboration between this studio. I'm so glad to hear this. This is fantastic news. Their newest game, Returnal, is doing very well for them. It's their first kind of big 3D game, PS5 exclusive. Very cool. I'd love to play it down the line. They're also responsible for games like Resogun, Alienation, Dead Nation. Yeah, just some Next Machina as well. They're an incredible developer, and I'm so glad to see that. But ironically, the Japanese PlayStation Twitter account were supposed to tweet this out and accidentally included a picture for another studio that I was just talking about yesterday, and apparently it's looking like PlayStation may actually be requiring Bluepoint Games, which I was hoping they would do. So yeah, instead of tweeting that out, they accidentally tweeted out this picture with Bluepoint in it. Welcome to the family. Welcome to the family, son. But it makes so much sense. Bluepoint have had a long relationship also with PlayStation. Now, mostly doing remakes and box sets, but I mean, that's how you build a reputation, right? So I would love to see, hopefully if this come true and it wasn't just an accident, I'd love to see them get their own IP, you know, get their own budget. PlayStation definitely has the money, and these guys have the chops. If they can create some of the most beautiful games on console right now, like the Shadow of the Colossus remake and the Demon's Souls remake, which I have just started to sample, and it's so good. It's so good. So yeah, they are absolute wizards, and Sony would be foolish not to snap them up before someone else does, right? The likes of EA or Microsoft. You don't want that. Hello, DPG. How's it going? Welcome on in. How is everybody doing today? Happy Tuesday. Another hot one over here in Ireland. My God, there's people literally melting on the street. Not good. No, I don't remember that. Oh, it was this little UK pop artist called Miss Dynamite T, and that was her song. You hear the songs on the radio, on the stereo. Yeah, it's probably like early 2000s, so you would have been not but a young pup. You would have been but a young pup. Mightn't even been born then, were you? Oh my God. Oh my, that's horrendous to think about. There's people they're in their 20s now and they're only born in the 2000s. Oh God. Good. Celebrating some tacos. Nice, nice. So what happens if you don't have tacos on Taco Tuesday? Does like this big guy in a taco suit show up and knock on your door and punch you straight in the balls? Is that what happened? Don't forget Taco Tuesday, motherfucker. Bye. Alright, and then he leaves like some tacos. I wish that was real. Like the taco fairy. Maybe. Who knows? Went to Taco Bell today. See, there you go. There you go. You like making your own ones? So yeah, this is great news for PlayStation. We know they've said that they're not, you know, buying up studios just because Xbox is. But it's clear there's an absolute, like, back and forth going on right now. For sure. I mean, they just bought Insomniac not that long ago, which was probably the deal of the century. They bought Insomniac for around $200 million, whereas Xbox bought the whole of Bethesda and all that, and ZeniMax for $7 billion. Now, they probably will get their money's worth, especially with Elder Scrolls 6 and Starfield and Doom, and they'll get their money's worth, but $7 billion. $7 billion. That's like 35 Insomniacs. Can you imagine that? I don't know. You tell me which was worth it. But yeah, we'll see. I really do hope we get an event from Sony. It's about time, you know. People want to see some news, you know. There's also like talks of a new Silent Hill just kind of keeps popping up. We can't quite get away from it. The whole news around the abandoned game as well. Yeah, it's crazy. Obviously, they will also know that the next God of War is coming now. I'm a huge fan of Sony Santa Monica, and I'm following Corey Balrog over on Twitter. I like to call him that. And he definitely is. He's very glued in with the industry right now. He doesn't mind doing a little bit of trolling, you know, a little bit of trolling. So it's always fun. So when everyone has been calling it God of War Ragnarok, he's like, okay, if you think so. So I don't know if it's even going to be called that, but it'd be foolish not to. When the funny thing is, when you go back and look at the trailer, they did just say Ragnarok is coming, but not that it was God of War Ragnarok. But it's looking like, you know, the game is definitely delayed out till next year. I'm thinking it'll be closer to holiday next year, just to give it that breathing room and become like a big showcase up against things like, you know, Xbox with Starfield and probably like Gear 6 or something like that. It's going to be a big couple of years for Xbox. I just hope they don't run out of steam. Sony have been absolutely geniuses at just giving us like, you know, maybe 3, 2, 4 exclusives a year. And you always feel like you want a little bit more. But you know that they're always going to be like serious quality. Like so far, not including the PS5 launch window games, so far this year we've had Returnal, and then Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart just came out, and we know that the holiday season is going to be pretty crazy as well. So, you know, busy. They've said that they have around 25 first-party games in development, and half of those are brand new IPs. So that's very, very impressive stuff, which is awesome. Now, that's not including what we've got, like with Returnal and Ratchet and Clank. This news was, you know, a couple of months ago, so, and they wouldn't be considered new IP. Well, Returnal would be. But yeah, it's interesting. I can't wait to see what Housemarque do next. It's only up from here, you know. They made the leap from 2D, 2.5D to fully 3D with Returnal, and you know, it's a bollocks hard game. A lot of people have been wanting some saves in it, but you know, it's meant to be a roguelike. But it's you know, they've proven the fact that they can really make an extremely fast shooter. I'd love to see what else they could do. Hell yes. Alright, so with Bluepoint, I think the most exciting thing about Bluepoint for me is they've never stopped working. They've never stopped. So Demon's Souls has come out to like a rip-roaring success, incredible. Like nobody ever tackles From Software games. That's like trying to mess with the Sistine Chapel, you know? It's like you fucking mess up one thing and they'll come down with you with the pitchforks. So yeah, they've never stopped working, and they have I think it was about a year or two ago now at this point, where they tweeted out this very suspicious tweet that mentioned like 4 or 5 games, and one of them was Demon's Souls, which ended up coming true. The others on the list, very excitingly, were Metal Gear Solid, and then we had Legend of Dragoon, which is this incredible old PlayStation 1 classic JRPG that just did not get enough love, and I'd love to see that be remade. There was also Siphon Filter, which we know Sony Bend, who are working on Days Gone, are now working on a new IP. We'll see about that. I still would love a Days Gone too. There was also Castlevania Symphony of the Night as well, which would be pretty cool. So who knows? Who knows? I mean, I'm just sitting here hoping we'll get like Soul Reaver coming back, but that's handled by Square Enix and Crystal Dynamics, and I know they're working on a new Tomb Raider as well. So it's just crazy. This whole generation is absolutely stacked. Like, and for you guys, the fans of like Star Wars and that, now that the EA has loosened their grip on it and Disney finally woke up, we're gonna have so many great Star Wars games. You know, even if you're not a fan of the series, there's some absolutely great genres there. We'll see about that. Like, so if we get this PlayStation event, you know, as early as maybe next week or 2 weeks from now, that would be insane. And then at the end of July, having EA Play maybe announce, who knows? That's pretty damn stacked. That's a good month. That'd be a great way to kind of truly like close out a summer game fest, right? We'll see about that. You know, as soon as I hear anything, I'll let you guys know. But yeah, I'm super excited. There's a big, beautiful future for all systems and PCs, everything. Like, the gaming industry is only getting bigger and bigger. It's always like when the start of it, you got a new generation. It's always so hype because anything's possible. You know, anything is possible. It's until you get like maybe to the 3rd or 4th year of a generation, you start to feel. Sometimes it'll start to feel a little like it's slowing down. Other times they're starting to fire on all cylinders. So yeah, there's a long future ahead. Yeah, we'll see how things go. I'm fucking excited. I want to see more Horizon. Yeah, I think it'll be the absolutely perfect idea to show off a release date for Horizon Forbidden West, and then also maybe a PS5 update for Horizon Zero Dawn. There's also rumblings of another spiritual successor to Bloodborne, or Bloodborne coming to PS5 and PC. It's just all over the place. Now, the issue with that, I would say, I would love it, absolutely. But the issue is you got to be very careful between, flooding the market with From Software stuff. Now, I know I'm getting to Demon's Souls pretty late. I mean, at this point, we're now, we're like 8 months into the new generation, so the game's been out 8 months, so for me it'd feel pretty close together, but for other people they're chomping at the bit. But we do have Elden Ring finally released in January, which, it's not that far away either, but I could definitely see maybe Bloodborne on PS5 and PC being kind of like a cheeky little holiday thing, just an extra little pin in Sony's absolutely, laundry list of amazing games. Hello Roger, hello Cyber, hello Bernie, how's it going? Jeez, how come you say hello to Roger for me? It's fucked up. EA Play when they announce. Yeah, if they do that, I'm done with EA. I'm done. I am so fucking done with them if they do that. Because, I'm down for a Jedi Fallen Order too. But if they ruin Dead Space, oh my god. But I really don't think so, Dynamite. If it happens, it'd be one of the stupidest wastes of talent and of an IP I'll ever. Because recently, they're just after like hiring the Assassin's Creed Valhalla, one of the game directors for that. And over on Xbox's side, the Fable team that are working in Playground Games, they've just gone on a massive hiring spree. Recently, they just hired someone who was working on Control from Remedy. So it's just the way the industry goes. That's why I always say about, you know, wanting game developers to have their own union, because they kind of skip around a good bit because they have no choice. Because once you have a little bit of downtime between a release of a game and another game coming out, you end up kind of being, you know, you can end up out of a job that way. And it's pretty rough. It's horrible. You know, it's like, thank you for slaving away at this game for 4 years. And now will you please go, you know? So we can't have that. Yeah, this week is absolutely banging. We're gonna be playing a little more Demon Souls after this. We ended it on such an incredible note last night. I was, you know, I had that kind of good heartbeat where you're kind of shaking. It was good. We finished off 3 bosses. I went back in and got a better weapon and kind of got a little more familiarized with it. So I'm happy. I'm happy to play that again. Oh yes, this is, I think, the most exciting thing for me with Horizon Forbidden West is the whole going diving deep underwater exploration. It looks so detailed and just gorgeous with all that coral. I don't think video games have done underwater exploration that well. You know, Assassin's Creed kind of tried it with Assassin's Creed Odyssey, which is kind of cool with those you know, clear Greek waters. It's very nice. But I feel like we haven't done it properly since things like Tomb Raider and that. Tomb Raider, after a while, they were like, alright, we are really going to let you explore underwater. I always enjoyed those sections, but they're, you know, that's Tomb Raider a long time ago, so things have definitely changed since then. So I'd be down for that. You know, I just kind of recently got into Subnautica, and it's scaring the bejesus out of me. So Subnautica should come with, you know, adult diapers, but they don't. They should. They should. If you haven't, you should give it a try. Even someone like me who has a horrible fear of drowning and deep sea, it's still beautiful. I'm still with 100% like just fascinated like a child at you know, everything got to do with this underwater and the sea and all the different sea life there. You know, it's kind of cool. It's something we should be exploring in real life instead of going into space as much. But it's all good. We should be able to do both. We should be able to do both. I just recently finished off watching Godzilla King of the Monsters. Finally got to watch that DVD. It's so good, man. It's so good. Just when you think, I think I did a good job, it still falls from the same shit that every monster movie has. Where I actually paused it and looked at the timer, and it took 43 minutes for Godzilla to show up on screen. And this is like the second movie in their Godzilla universe, you know? So it's just ridiculous. You know, just cut the fat already. Cut the stupid human characters. But it was pretty damn cool. Just seeing all the monsters. I won't spoil anything, but like they really did call it like King of the Monsters for a good reason. It was amazing. I really do. Like, I'm still a better fan of the old school Godzilla when it was just guys in suits running around like crazy. Because it was just amazing what they were able to do back then, you know. But, you know, I will never knock things just because it's CGI. It's not my favorite, but I think it was, you know, you're not going to be able to do with this now. But I think it was pretty cool. I like what they've done. I like the design of Godzilla. He's far more like lizard beast based, you know, compared to that 1988 one. It was a horrible movie. Horrible. We don't talk about that one. But I couldn't believe that the first Godzilla was, what, 2014? Well, this, you know, this what are they calling it? Monster Universe or something? Can't call it MCU as well. I just get confused with the Marvel Cinematic Universe. But who knows? I'm so excited, right? Oh my god. I still think this is going to come out like October. I really do. I think it's going to be gorgeous. This will be coming out PS4 and PS5. So anyone who's a little bit worried that they can't get a PS5, I think you're good for a little while longer. Obviously, they're all going to look better and play better on the next gen, but you know, that's the fact. Even before I got the PS5, when I was playing things like Ghost of Tsushima and Last of Us Part 2 on the PS4, I'm like, what in the hell? I couldn't believe that an 8-year-old, you know, piece of hardware was able to do this. Like 4 gigs of RAM. Like, ask anybody, ask Dynamite, anyone who's had to survive. 4 gigs of RAM is like pissing in the wind. It's nothing. It is nothing. So the fact that they were able to pull those games off, anything's possible. You know, you're obviously going to lose a lot of fidelity, resolution, frame rate, the works, and that's probably what's going to happen with this game. But most of the time, the average gamer will not notice, you know, things like the textures on leaves and if the sand moves, and you know, you're not really going to notice that stuff. But it's when you have the complete package. I think one of the this trailer was amazing, and one of the things that I just couldn't let go was the sand going in Aloy's hair. It just kind of blew me away that they had put that level of detail. This is obviously such a small, tiny piece. It's just one little fight. But they really wanted to showcase the new combat system. And yeah, they nailed it. They absolutely nailed it. I'd be interested to see what else these guys could do. Yeah, I remember when this first was shown off, I saw a lot of concept art for Horizon Zero Dawn, you know, way before it came out. And they were showing off a lot more, like, closer to kind of like samurais with dinosaurs. So, I mean, there's definitely a little nod to some kind of, it might be is it called the Chinese theater in Hollywood? Yeah, I think there's a bit in this that seems to point towards that. But it made me think of, you know, Chinese and Japanese mythology in these kind of games. It would be sick. Hell yeah. And it seems like God of War kind of wanted to go in that direction. Like, not to be spoilers or anything, but they definitely left it open. After going from Greek mythology to Norse mythology, they left it wide open to go to all sorts. There was like Egyptian mythology, there was Japanese mythology, there was so much. This one, you know, with it being called the Forbidden West, you know, it's a little confusing to me who doesn't live in America, but, you know, when I see San Francisco, that's all it made me think of. But I well believe that when they mean Forbidden West, they mean the whole of the West Coast. So I could see you going to, like, LA, or what's left of LA, San Diego, you know, just all down the West Coast. And that would be pretty cool. And it also leaves it wide open. I don't want to be too presumptuous here, but it leaves it wide open for maybe another big DLC expansion like the Frozen Wilds from the first game. So yeah, anything's possible. Anything's possible. Now, I've seen a lot of, this bit really annoyed me. You know, it looks amazing, but I've seen a lot of websites reporting we now have mounting in Horizon, you know, Horizon Forbidden West. And I'm like, did you play the first game? Because, like, every shot in the first game has her riding around. Like, fair enough, there was only a couple of mounts in the first game. But yeah, it was just a silly little mistake. But it just goes to show, like, as the old guard, as I call them, you know, the old journalists get older and older, they start to go from, you know, people who know what they're talking about to kind of the cool uncle trying to be cool, but actually is missing out just common little details. So, you know, that's what I really want is being able to mount the, you know, the Stormhawks, and I think the new little pterodactyls have a new name. They're called like sun something. Basically, their wings look like solar panels, which is pretty cool. But I would love to be able to fly around there, you know. There are certain shots with the concept art that shows extreme verticality, you know. And you're probably going to be able to climb that Golden Gate Bridge, which would be awesome. So I would love that. I would love that. That moment of freedom, because there are moments in Horizon Zero Dawn, like, you know, outside of this crazy combat, that's so chill and so beautiful. You just kind of relax, explore the world. So I'd love to see that, and I can't wait to see what more costumes Aloy has, and the detail in her hair, in her braids and everything. I can't get over it. You just want to run your fingers through it. Is that weird? No, it's not weird. It's okay. Alright, cool. Let's see. Okay, on to the next piece of news. We have a possible, a little rumors for July's PS Plus games. Now, I think Xbox have shown off their games with gold. I don't usually report too much in the games with gold because they're pretty poor showing when you have, like, you know, the Game Pass just absolutely spitting out games, which is pretty cool. How many of these have I opened? Anyway, so yeah, for the rumored PlayStation Plus July games, it looks like we're going to be getting a Plague Tale Innocence, which is, you know, an outstanding award-winning, incredible game. Super, super fun. I'm glad that that's happening. It's about time. I mean, they just announced the sequel, which I think is called A Plague Tale Requiem. Really, really cool. I don't like stealth in game. I've made this known time and time again. But A Plague Tale Innocence gets stealth right. You've got a little bit of combat. You've got a nice little distraction thing where, you know, where like you've got stealth and distractions in games where it's like one bottle or one stone or something, and you fuck it up and they don't see it and they just keep on walking, and it really irritates the shit out of you because that's your one chance. But with Plague Tale Innocence, they make that truly part of the combat, and I really like it. It's just got this cool, like, old style slingshot. Also, there's talks of WRC 9, which is I believe is it World Rally Champion. Or I don't really keep up an eye in the new rally games. I was always like a Sega Rally guy myself, or Colin McRae. And Dirt was always fun as well. like Dishonored. Not really, no. Dishonored is this Plague Tale Innocence is third person, and it's story first and then stealth. But there is a slight bit of combat, but nothing like Dishonored is brutal and incredible as well. I hope that series comes back one day. And then the last but not least, certainly not least, is Uncharted: The Lost Legacy. We're just talking about it. This to me feels like they definitely want to get people caught up. The fact that they chose this side game, I think they've already given away the Uncharted collection. I'm not sure if they gave away Uncharted 4 though, did they? Probably did fucking ages ago. So it's probably just the complete people's collections. Let me double check that. But yeah, like that's a very like a Plague Tale Innocence was a lot of people's game of the year, and boop. Oh yeah, here we go. It was last April 2020 they gave away Uncharted 4 and Dirt. I was just talking about that. That's weird. So there you go, and we know they gave away the collection. So that would really just fully complete your Uncharted collection. I mean, if you've got the PS5 with the PS Plus games collection, with the giveaway for free, you'll have all that anyway. But it's still very, very meaty. I mean, you've got a nice mix. You know, you've got a beautiful, you know, game set in the almost like the medieval French era. Lots of crazy rats and stuff. Plague Tale Innocence, awesome. Then you got a cool rally game for all those racers out there. And then Uncharted: Lost Legacy, which is an amazing little fun side spin-off game with Chloe and Nadine, which are both great characters in their own right. I enjoyed the hell out of it. Might be a reason for me to go back and get the platinum, maybe. Boop. Alright. Let's see. What else have we got here? Yeah, pretty much I wanted to make today about, or today's Daily Dose, pretty much about PlayStation. So, yeah, leave it with me. We may see, you know, an event by July 8th. If that's something that's going to happen, we should hear about it, you know, within a week of it happening. So we'll see about that. Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut and Ghost of IKISHIMA as well. Really cool, really cool. This person who is reporting on this, on Resetera, they actually have a picture of Gravity Rush, which is a series I really want to play. They're all on PS now, so trust me, that will happen. That will happen soon enough. And yeah, another side game, and yeah, it might. The only thing I'd worry about is, you know, if it's a little bit too close. But I mean, Spider-Man and Spider-Man Miles Morales came out pretty close to each other, and it didn't really harm sales at all. So I think this will be fine too. They did such a good job with Ghost of Tsushima. It's always hard to say that part because my stupid Irishness. Yeah, like you got to go all over the island, you even got to go up into snowy areas, and it never felt too big, you know. I feel like that's one of the smaller things kind of stopping me from going back and playing Red Dead 2. Also, you know, the story is quite special, and I don't want to milk it by, you know, playing it again. It was a special moment. But it's such a huge game. I feel like the game doesn't kick off till like chapter 4 as well. Everybody was feeling, it was like, oh, now we're doing bank jobs and stuff. Oh, okay. Yeah, massive. Let's see here. Xbox have been getting into some unusual waters recently, where there was a meme basically about Game Pass. So apparently some little, you know, Sony fanboy was getting pissy because a lot of the bigger channels were promoting Game Pass. Some of them were doing it because they were paid, some weren't. But then everybody just chimed in and became a big meme. Was like, I don't know why this guy is so angry. God, he wouldn't be so angry if he just bought 1 month of Xbox Game Pass. So it's like going into the spiel. So I thought it was really funny. It kind of kicked off over the weekend. And of course, Xbox being a little bit, you know, they're trying to be hip with the kids and all that. So they were joining in going, we love to see the excitement around Game Pass. I'm like, no, it's a meme. They're not making fun of you, but they're using your platform for a meme. You don't join in. Anyway. But to them, they like most companies do, any publicity is good publicity. So they'll ride that thing. Oh, baby, they'll ride that thing. Let me see. I'm trying to find... where the hell? Damn, I should have saved it for later. This is what I usually try and do. It was basically talking about Xbox Game Pass games coming in July that have already been announced, which is kind of cool. Let me see. This one might do it. Yeah, it will. Okay, perfect. Perfect. We have 3 already. This is, you know, these are just left over from E3, which is crazy. They haven't even announced the rest of them yet. Good God. Here we go. Ads galore. Can't escape the bastards. Like a plague tale. A plague ad. Lol. So, let's see. So, here we go for July. They're going to put Banjo-Kazooie on the cloud. That's so funny. Fortunately, it's the worst Banjo-Kazooie game. Nuts and bolts. It was kind of fun as a little car builder, but it was most certainly not a good Banjo game. Bug Fables, I've been talking enough about this one. I can't fucking wait for that. Gang Beast. The problem I have with Gang Beast is it's awesome. It's super fun, especially with friends or have a few drinks or whatever. It doesn't matter. It's fun for the whole family. But they just don't support it anymore. I don't blame them because Gang Beast has been out since like 2013. I swear to God. You have no idea how old this game is. And if they finally brought the console years later, 2014, there we go. So Gang Beast is now nearly 7 years old. Like, fuck, would you do a sequel or something? But a game I've been following a lot closer is Party Animals. And it's basically Gang Beasts with weapons. You've still got the fluffy kind of floppy physics, like Human Fall Flat and that. Like, there's another game, Human Fall Flat. They supported the hell out of that and kept doing more and more updates and multiplayer and everything. That's how you support a game. Gang Beasts just like put it out and everything. We never got even a new stinking level or anything. But I still like Gang Beasts, you know, especially if you pick it up for cheaper in the Game Pass. It's super fun. The new Space Jam game, which is meant to be, I believe, a beat 'em up, you know, like Streets of Rage and all those games you've seen me play. Let's see, Limbo, I mean, that's a classic. I'd love to go back and play that. Chris Tales as well, or Chris, which I really want to play. That's a turn-based RPG with a beautiful art style. You take the ads away and they come back. And it's nice to see that coming to Game Pass as well. It has a really unique feature in Chris Tales, or Chris Tales, whatever. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong. Where in the middle of combat, you can split the battlefield, and in each corner of the split, you can kind of go forward in time or back in time. And it like manipulates all that good stuff. It's a really clever idea. And then of course the Microsoft Flight Simulator finally coming to the next gen consoles. They're hoping to get like 120 frames. It's going to be amazing. Now Microsoft Flight Simulator growing up has always been, the first one has always been used to actually train real life pilots, you know. So it coming to console, it's just a nice thing, but you know, you're not going to be learning how to fly. When people would use the old one, they were actually using models, you know, and you had the whole kind of pilot situation, everything from the cockpit there, you know. So yeah, but it's still a gorgeous game. It's probably the most lifelike looking game out there. It's just a pity that it's just a simulator, not a, you know, something you can do with that world. I'd love to see that realism applied to an actual game. You know, it's when they say photorealism, they mean it. And finally, The Ascent, which is an awesome top-down shooter. If you're a fan, we talked about House Mark. If you're a fan of those games, The Ascent is kind of the first next-gen top-down shooter. It's going cyberpunk. It's multiplayer. It also is supporting 120 frames, which is pretty impressive. And then leaving the Game Pass. Always good to, you know, I'm surprised they actually announced these so early. I think it says July. No, I think this means leaving in June, because I know The Messenger is leaving. There's a lot of those. The Outer Worlds, there's a couple of those I wanted to play. It's not a big deal. Sometimes they'll come back. Who knows? I am sick of looking at those ads. Anyway, yeah. So that's today's daily dose of gaming. All exciting news about PlayStation for sure. We'll see. Will PSX come back with PlayStation Experience? I hope so. I don't know if they want to do it like, you know, in person in theaters. Who knows? Who knows? But PlayStation clearly are filling up the revolver full of massive games just to let loose, you know, their 6-shooter, boom, 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 boom. And I hope we get a Horizon Forbidden West release date. It'd be nice to see some gameplay for the next God of War, but it's okay, you know, that could be something for next E3. Who knows? Who knows? But they've got a lot of stuff going. Great news about Housemarque, and even greater news if it actually turns out that they may be buying Bluepoint, because I think that's an absolutely fantastic idea. It's perfect. It's a match made in heaven for sure. Hell yeah. Hell yes. Yeah, Dishonored's such a great series. You kind of sort of got 3 games, you know, and you got the big DLC for the second game. It almost felt like another game. Then they moved on to Prey, and now that same team is doing Deathloop and the new vampire game Redfall. So they're very, very busy. Arcane are amazing. Who knows what they'll do next? I just worried if they're exploring too much of like co-op based stuff and, you know, online shooters and things like that. It's like, anyway, Anyway. Alright, cool. Yes, that is the daily dose of gaming. We're going to move over to demon shows now. Whew.